something's already changed, even if you're not naming it or you're avoiding it. And whether you want to acknowledge it, it's going to continue. So allow yourself to choose a pile. Nothing here needs to be rushed or put you under pressure. Just choose whichever one you're drawn to. So we have pile 1. We have pile 2. And we have pile number 3. Take some privacy if you need. I'll put the timestamps below, and I'll see you there. There's a part of your life that's changing very dramatic in your life right now. And once you notice it, it's something that you're not going to be able to unsee. And so that's going to change how the next few months play out. So you don't need to listen to this reading all at once. But there's something in here that'll make sense later. So maybe just play it in the background. Pile 1, welcome. This is your crystal. So this pile feels a bit uneasy. Like something is changing, but it's going to be little baby steps. Like it's going to be very subtle. And it's something that you were anticipating changing, but it's also something you thought you wouldn't be able to break through or break away from in the past. Almost feels like a person. So your question, what's the overall energy surrounding your next 6 months? Okay. Let's see what energy wants to come forward. If you chose this pile, the next 6 months feel very intense, intentional, but not forced. Like it's like your life is finally responding to things that you were already trying to change prior. It seems like things are no longer happening to you, like a bad luck streak has finally ended. There's less shock, there's less scrambling, there's less trying to understand everything. It's almost like you've been slowly adjusting over time to having a difficult life. And now the world's finally like, oh, we can give her a break because she's good. She can handle it. But I'm noticing here, there's no rush energy here at all. Like there's no one trying to decide everything. It's just unresolved. It's just going slow, letting things just reveal themselves and resting. You see this 4 of Swords here. The King of Cups just sitting chill on his throne. I am noticing though, the energy is very confident. Like I said, you don't have to solve right away or fix it right away. And like, it feels like all of your focus is going towards yourself and just letting things happen. You're like, well, if they're a shitty person, it's going to come out. You know what I mean? So if you feel like you're stuck between two things, that makes sense for this pile. It seems like you're almost trying to change like your identity, pile 1. So the Queen of Swords is your shadow card. This is you learning to just begin trusting yourself again. If you look at these cards here, pile 1, you have the Aries major, you have the Cancerian major, and you have the Libra major. I want to see if we can get any clarifying energy on the majors in particular. Because I don't think you're going to even notice that you've changed with these particular people until you're put in a situation, because like it seems like you're stable now. So with a Gemini, your vision may have changed. Your vision of what you guys are, what you guys do, and this could be about anything, love, romance. This is just what you thought you could see wasn't what it really was. And for the Libra, there's a transformation happening somewhere around that energy. And what about the Aries? Thank you, spirits, guides. What can we get for the Aries? Willingness. Your willingness has changed with something regarding this person. So you're choosing things to be easy. You're choosing things just to be the way they are now, instead of just pushing through and trying to change these people. And that alone is going to change the outcome of things, the trajectory of things. And this isn't you being dramatic. This is chill. You're finally like, whatever. Like, I'm just doing what I want. I'm going to clear this set and I'm going to get to your next question, pile 1. Okay. I'll use the same deck. Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. Can you please show me how this energy will actually play out in pile 1's life, love, career, school, work, anything? Ooh, starting off with the moon. 5 of Cups. Page of Cups. Queen of Wands. That's your first reversed card you've had, pile 1. Queen of Cups, the Hierophant. So, like I said, how does this energy show up in love, career, daily life? All right, looks like... new beginnings. Well, let's start with relationships first. So there's a noticeable change in how much you explain yourself, pile 1. You got the 2 of Swords again here. That's making a decision. So pile 1, you no longer feel like you need to justify yourself or explain yourself to your partner. You don't need to justify your boundaries, explain your boundaries. You don't need to freak out over things. It's less of you repeating yourself and more of you just saying it once and leaving it as is. I'm going to use my love clarifiers here. So there is, like I said, noticeably you're not explaining yourself. And I'd like to get a little bit of clarifying on that. The way I've treated you was wrong. Yeah. Someone didn't respect your boundaries before. This is being practical and just less spiraling, like just less doing the same conversations over and over, less blocking each other, like actually working on things. You don't need it to be dramatic, pile 1. And okay, let me see here. If you're not in a relationship, let's see what clarifiers we can get you here. So if you're not in a relationship, then you're worried to reach to this person. Is it safe to love you? And if you're not in a relationship, you're dreaming of that wedding, but that could freak this person out. Or you're currently married and you're needing to be divorced or separated before you can move forward with this. But if you're single, this feels like someone that's very, very picky. This feels like someone who is very selective about who gets access to you. And that is great, but it doesn't feel like being isolated. It feels like you standing your ground, you know? And this bottom row here, there's a strong message about your emotional safety, pile one. You don't care if it's intense. You don't care if it's passionate. You want it to be consistent and steady. If this is career or purpose, this could be you finally refining that job or that schooling to do the job better and learning that things that you were doing at work or career or school were sort of pointless. They weren't helping your situation. And Pawan, this isn't about giving up. It's about just realizing where you're putting in work where it didn't need to be and where you could use more work. And it's not because something had went wrong, but it's because now your bare minimum is steadier. Like you don't take things personally anymore, Pawan. There's also something here about a routine becoming like a way of life. It's small things that keep you on your feet when things feel uncertain, when you get your back stabbed. Could be starting to go to the gym in the mornings, starting to eat healthier. It just makes you feel better. You had 3 cards come out. King of Swords, 7 of Swords, and Knight of Wands. This is you leaving old habits behind and starting new habits, pile one. This is you realizing that if you want the things to work, like if you're trying to get in shape, if you're trying to get better at your job, you have to put the work in. And this is you making a turnaround to do that. And this keeps you on path when you feel uncertain about things, like when your life isn't going the way you had hoped. You can rely on this habit. Let me clear the cards again. I'll ask another question for you. So what's the outcome going to be? You know? What's the outcome of all this going to be? All right, pal one. Let's get you another question here. King of Wands just popped out. Ooh. All right. If this is resonating with you so far, let me know in the comments. Or if you don't want to give any deets, leave a heart or a like, and I know it resonated. That keeps me motivated. This is Capricorn energy in here. There's Capricorn energy. There's fast communication. Oh my goodness, pile one, you've gotten the 2 of Swords for every question. This is you between and you got Gemini again. So where does this lead? What's the outcome? This is someone becoming confident, not loud, not performing, just chill, solid. By the time that this 6-month period settles, you're going to have full trust in yourself, pile one. And that's not because everything worked out perfectly for you, but because you saw yourself adapt to all of this shitty things that happened to you without like abandoning yourself, right? There's a message here that you need to stop second guessing yourself, pile one. You don't need as much validation to move forward anymore. And people notice that. And look at this, you guys. You got Capricorn, right? But then you got Aries again, Libra again, Cancerian energy again. Like, let's see how they influence the outcome then. All right. So the Capricorn, how do they influence it? They allow you freedom. Interesting. That might be a friend of yours that lets you sort of let loose and feel free. And what about the Lovers here, the Gemini energy? The Gemini energy is forcing you to take action. And things aren't perfect for you, pile one, I can tell. But let's just get a little further. How does the Libra affect spontaneity? They give you might do spontaneous things with this. This might be like your fun single friend that like you like hanging out with and doing spontaneous things. They probably don't have kids and they could just chill and do whatever they want. And the Aries energy, Emperor, keeps you present, keeps you grounded. Emperor is a very strong energy. So if you know an Aries, you probably know that they're very strong-headed. So the energy coming through here, like I said, feels confident. It's not loud. It's not, performing. It's none of that. Pile one, this pile feels like it's going to reflect a relationship that is long-term. Like, because you're aware of what you can handle now and you're aware of what drains you. And then you change your attitude or your actions accordingly. And there's a lot of emotional maturity here that feels like you did work. Like you're way less reactive, pile one, than you used to be. And if I could go back in time, I would handle us differently. And that's where the growth came from. That's where you learned I can't keep acting erratic anymore. This is the outcome of you making those changes, pile one. Why can't I tell you the truth? Again, this is you growing up. And I cannot take it anymore. It was just so hard to keep doing things the way you were, pal one. And now you did that switch, you did that learning, and you became a better version of yourself. And if this person's single, if this person's not in a relationship, is not with their future spouse, like, what is the outcome for them? Express your love. They learn to express themselves. My single watchers, you may also have done and put in work on yourself and finally taught yourself it's okay to express your love and stop working towards that validation, And honeymoon, you're after that honeymoon. Like you really want that love story if you're single or in a relationship, but this is someone who is wanting a relationship, and give your relationship a chance. You might be self-sabotaging yourself, but the outcome of you making these changes for all my single watchers is you learning to express your love, you learning to give your relationship a chance, and finally getting that honeymoon stage, and that honeymoon. So this isn't like the chapter of your life where everything just explodes and you have to restart everything. This is where things actually start feeling stable and start feeling like you're doing things for a reason. take what you will with that. And when you're ready, we'll move into pile 2. There's a part of your life that's changing, very dramatic in your life right now. And once you notice it, it's something that you're not going to be able to unsee. And so that's going to change how the next few months play out. So you don't need to listen to this reading all at once. But there's something in here that'll make sense later. So maybe just play it in the background. Pile 2, welcome. You can listen to this reading by sitting here watching, or you can just let it play passively in the background. I'll keep things calm so that if you end up falling asleep to this, I won't startle you awake. We've got Libra energy already popping out. Gemini energy. So the question number 1 for pile 2, what's the overall energy surrounding their next 6 months? Pile 2's next 6 months. All right, 7 of Wands. Interesting. That came out as soon as I said that. Now, if you chose this pile 2, the first thing that's coming through is being self-aware. Not like suddenly, and you're not shocked by it either. It's something that you've known that you need to take care of, need to do, and you're finally zoning in on it, focusing on it. There's like realization without panic or like freaking out about it, because you knew something wasn't really aligning with your beliefs, pile 2, but you never had the full picture. So over the next 6 months, pile 2, that getting clear about things is going to come through. Over the next 6 months, pile 2, isn't you pushing forward aggressively. This is having distractions removed and focusing on the proper things and just not even paying attention to what doesn't matter. Like you're like, okay, this matters, not that. This pile feels like getting clear about things. Things feel like more obvious than they used to. And what once was super confusing is like, oh, it's so much more simpler. Not that it's easy, but it's like clear. You're getting clear about things. And you might be uncomfortable with all of that at first and catching yourself thinking, wait, I've known this for a while. Like, why didn't I do anything? This period isn't about dramatic endings or explosive beginnings. So the overall energy from the Lovers is they're in the past. And I feel like you're going to be unsettled these next 6 months, pile 1. But it's not because like something bad's going to happen, but because it's out of the norm. Like you're actually acknowledging what's going on. You also got the Libra here. They're giving you purpose. And what about this one? The Hermit is Virgo energy. They give you a sense of integrity. You're observing, pile 1. You're observing this person. Let's clear this and reset. We'll ask another question for you. We're going to find out how this energy affects love, work, and your overall life direction, career direction, love direction, any of that. Let's see. Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. Let's get some clarity on that, shall we? See what we can get, pile 2. Seven of Coins, Three of Coins. Conversations. Thinking about conversations over and over. Nine of Wands. So, what is the energy surrounding the next 6 months for pile 2? The Lovers again. 10 of Swords. Yikes. So this is being aware. Like it's not like suddenly, but then again, you're like not shocked when you see it. Like you knew this person was kind of shady and it's coming to focus. See that with the 10 of Swords and the Magician. Yeah, you're realizing that you were gaslighting yourself, pile 2. You knew something wasn't really lining up. Timelines weren't really adding up. And then you get some sort of proof, pile 2. Ace of Swords here too. So as these cards are coming out, this is showing me the universe or your life in general isn't trying to push you forward aggressively. Instead, it's like removing people from your life for a reason. Like the people that they're removing from your life don't matter. And this is so you can see the people that do matter. I'd like to get some clarifiers if I can. I cannot make you happy. Situations are feeling like way more obvious than they used to be. Like I get the sense of you just can't believe. You're like, I can't believe I fell for that. I can't believe I was so naive. Maybe partying involved. Please do what is best for your heart. Interesting that came in over the 10 of Swords. And for our single watchers, our lovers that are not in a relationship, let's see. Yeah, like I think a light's just going to go off and you're going to be like, how was I so blind? I didn't even see that. But that doesn't mean it's easy. This could be the one. You're hopeful, you know. You're like, I want my emotions to be honest. And I'm trying to let go of these control issues. Working on my codependency. And look, your shadow cards do love. This isn't about like a crazy new beginning. This is about making those little internal changes so you can make that reality real. Like these next 6 months, you might feel a little uneasy about things because nothing bad's about to happen, but you're not really going to just push things under the rug anymore. And there's a lot of energy and information being sent your way, pile 2. There's a lot of time that you've been given to observe and to process exactly what's going on here. Let's clear this energy and we'll ask another question for you, pile 2. It's going to be, and how is this energy going to affect my love, my work, my life? How is this getting clear about something, this epiphany, gonna show up for me? Pile 2. Let's see. Conversations. Analyzing conversations, not just taking them for face value, really thinking about what did that conversation mean, you know? This isn't being confrontational. You got the Empress. And you're not. You got the Magician again. Temperance. That could be you. Less willing to entertain people. Entertain connections that were like, where you had to pretend to be someone you're not. Knight of Cups, I'm sorry. Oh, I have some here that want to pop out. 4 of Coins and the World. So like if this is about a relationship, it feels like you guys are working on things. You could be dealing with a Cancerian and just sort of, like I said, analyzing the conversations that you guys have over and over to get clear about it. And you're like, will you leave me like the others? This is someone who needs more honesty, pile 2. This is someone who needs things to be transparent, because why do I feel this way? Why do I feel uneasy? These are things you're asking yourself. And you have triggered me. You had 3 more pop out. I wasn't going to read them, but I will. And I cannot come to you now. Like something happened between you guys where you just felt like, no, like it went too far. I can't do it. And I cannot handle your love. This person that you're with might be very intense. And then I wish I could understand you. Yeah, this is someone who needs people to be more honest with them, this like in a relationship. And like you don't want to argue, you just want people to be transparent with you, like just be real with you. And if you're not partnered, like if you're single, this pile doesn't feel like you're lonely. It feels like you're just chilling. You're not entertaining people that are just wasting your time. You're waiting for that true love. You're not going to just sit there and perform for people. Like, no thanks. And you've become very protective of your own emotional energy. You're waiting for that soulmate here. And cards just, you know, let your friends help you. It feels like work is a big focus of yours, pile 2. But you're realizing that work isn't everything. And you're trying to outperform people at work. And then you're asking yourself, why am I doing this? Because the King of Wands. You're wondering, does this still fit who I am now? Do I want to work this hard for so long, put my life on hold for so long for this? Outcome of this is you're realizing that this is really affecting your life. Your life is really disrupted by all of this. And these old routines are just not doing it for you, pile 2. And those old motivations, they're not really doing you anything anymore. You're not really putting yourself into these roles that don't really fit you anymore, pile 2. Even if these things kind of destabilize you a bit, pile 2. It feels like this is the kind of getting clear that makes things simpler for you. Even if it feels like it's a bit like destabilizing at first, like uneasy at first. But let's pause right here. I'm going to clear the table one more time and get you a third question. What is the outcome of this 6-month period. What's going to happen at the end of this 6 months? Let me just shuffle these cards here. All right. So what comes all of this? Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides for our pile 2. What comes of all of this in their career, their love, their life, anything that comes through? This one wanted to come out. I'm going to pull it. 9 of Cups. 10 of Swords jumped out there again. Ace of Coins. Money comes of all of this. Okay. All right. So looks like you're trusting yourself finally. Judgment again. Temperance. Princess. You're aligning things finally, pile 2. Like, by the time that this period settles, by the time this 6 months settles, there's going to be one choice that's been honest. You've been honest with yourself. And it probably wasn't the easiest decision you made, but it feels like it was the right decision. There is like an internal matchup now. Like your feelings are matching your actions now. And you're beginning to trust yourself more. You're beginning to trust yourself more than just doing whatever's convenient. Like this is a turning point. It just quietly changes the way that you move through the world and you just take up space. Like you're not trying to convince anyone of your reasoning for doing things. You're just doing them. And that's enough. Take a breath, like take all of that in. Oh my God. When you're ready, we're going to move into pile 3. Thanks for spending your energy with me. This reading doesn't start in the future. It starts where you're at right now because something's already changed, even if you're not naming it or you're avoiding it. And whether you want to acknowledge it, it's going to continue. Pile 3, thank you so much for joining us. Your first question. What is the overall energy surrounding your next 6 months? I'm going to continue to shuffle here and just take it kind of slow. You can listen to this podcast style, listen to it in the background. First thing that comes through is being soft, but dealing with maybe a Capricorn. This feels like someone finally being able to just chill and exhale, you know, like just relax. I feel like you've given yourself a break, pile 3. The Hierophant. I'm not going to do a reversal on this one, actually. This feels like, like there's been, in the past, there was a lot of pressure on you, but now it's just lifting finally. And you're being kind to yourself finally. You got a Judgment card. You stopped judging yourself. There's a lot of emotional recovery here, like, and it wasn't some big event, but there was a long stretch of you just holding it together, of just being like the steady one of and managing, coping, just adapting to everyone else but you. This 6-month period feels like you're returning to yourself again. There's less forcing, there's less urgency, there's less like, I feel like I need to explain myself. Like you don't think you need to exist just to justify yourself. How could you ever forgive the mess I've made? It hurts so much. Your sleeping is a bit off. Like, I feel like you have a bit of insomnia, pile 3. And there's less like forcing things. I want to clarify, why do I deserve someone like you? I want to clarify the Capricorn energy here and see how they may be affecting your life. And then I want to clarify I thought you got, the Judgment, the Libra card, or Justice as well. Okay, so for the Capricorn in your life, they might bring joy to your life. They might bring fun, might be a best friend. Judgment, Libra, trust. This is someone you can trust and express yourself to. This 6-month period feels like you're just getting back into the groove of things. There's less forcing things, less trying to be fast about things just to figure out what comes next, you know? Like, you might notice that you respond differently now. Like, your body responds first. And those energy levels are fluctuating a bit for you. Your system is just resetting itself, pile 3. This pile carries the energy of being gentle without keeping yourself stuck. You're resting between humps in the road, you know, like, and if you've been feeling emotional lately, this reading, like, yeah, this makes sense. Because this isn't you being told you need to toughen up. This is just asking you to listen to yourself, listen to your body. Let me clear these cards. I'll reset and I'll ask the next question for you, pile 3. Let's see how this energy will show up in your love, work, inner world. Like, how does this affect your life? How does it show up in your life? Let's see here. All right. Thank you, angels, spirits, guides. How does this energy show up in pile 3's life? All aspects of their life. Okay. Strength, that's Leo energy. Death. Okay. Got a Virgo here too. All right. So you don't feel, this isn't someone lonely. Ace of Cups. Queen. Two of Cups. Your shadow card's the Magician in reverse. So in relationships, this energy feels like you being safe in your relationship is number one. You need predictability, consistency, someone who's calm. But please do whatever's best for your heart. I wish I could be fully honest with you. You need someone who can be truthful with you, pile 3. And you're too nice. I don't deserve your kindness. But there is. And if you're not partnered up, if you're single, how can this affect you? Finances and career, honeymoon. This is just you becoming more comfortable in a shared space, more comfortable being quiet, you learning how to express your love. You may be learning how to actually, oh my God, look at, release your ex. There's this sense of like, stop outsourcing yourself, pile 3, just to appease others. And as these cards came out, work and career feels slower, except for our singles. You might reassess, like, what does productivity actually mean to you? You know, this isn't about you burning yourself out. It's you finding out how can you sustain this so that you can keep momentum going. You're pausing between decisions. You're learning that taking time just to decide, is this what I want, is the best step you could make. And I think you're also learning, once you change your way of thinking, that's when it all changes. That mean voice in your head that's comparing you, that's not giving yourself patience, that's just being nasty, it's getting quieter in your head. And it's those old narratives that are just hushing and just leaving. Daily life is starting to feel easier, simpler. It's not because life is easy, but it's because you just stopped adding like all that unnecessary pressure you're putting on yourself. Let's just pause. Let that settle for a sec. I'm going to clear the table one more time, and I'm going to ask another question. We're going to find out what the outcome, or how does this sort of integrate with your life as this 6-month period settles down, chills out, you know? All right, so let's do one more question for pile 3. How does this affect their outcome in all aspects of their life? Oops. 2 wands, 5 of swords, Cancerian card, Knight of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, this is something renewing, something starting over. It's not like you didn't get the rebirth card. So it's more like just you feeling like yourself again after like a long stretch of being fake. Because you feel safe now, safe inside your own body, inside your own thoughts. Just no longer faking it. And there's a quiet confidence that comes in that self-acceptance. You're just becoming more comfortable being where you are, pile 3. I wish I could be fully honest with you. Please do what is best for your heart. This is you being emotionally grounded and being steady with yourself, pile 3. The fact that you feel safe inside your own body now is the big takeaway here, pile 3. There is that confidence that comes with your self-respect, and you're not trying to be someone else anymore, pile 3. You're just comfortable being who you are, where you are, acting how you want to act. So there's no big reveal on this reading, pile 3. It just ends peacefully with being steady, being chill, and just being grounded. So that's going to be the foundation for whatever comes next. You're just going into it calmly. So you don't need to rush forward here. You don't need to. This is exactly where you need to be. So take your time coming back from this reading. You don't need to remember everything. You don't need to apply everything immediately. Whatever stayed with you was meant for you. And if you feel called, check in again in a few weeks. And you can return to this whenever you need to. So for now, just let yourself rest in what feels settled. Thank you so much for spending your energy with me. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.